Factoring quadratics. Most students really like factoring quadratics when a is 1, but let's review what we're talking about here by a equals 1. So when we're talking about the standard form of a quadratic, it's in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are going to be the numbers in front of x squared, in front of x, and this number at the end would be our c. So a constant with no x, or x to the 0 power, I guess. So what we're going to do here is we're going to identify our a, our b, and our c, and then we are going to follow the following steps. I do have an additional tutorial, actually a couple of them, on my YouTube page, so you can look around a little bit and see what you can find. Because if you do need additional support, there is more there. So let's take a look. In this case, a equals 1 because there's nothing there. And it means that there's 1x squared. My b equals -3, and my c equals -18. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply a times c, which is 1 times -18. That's a times c. I'll write that out. And that's going to leave me with -18. If I take my -18 and I look for two numbers that multiply to make -18, I want to make sure that they're going to add to b. Now b is -3. So let's kind of run through all the factors of 18, not worrying about positives and negatives yet, and we'll worry about them after. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6, and that's really it. So if I look at any of those, I know that since they multiply to be a negative, their signs have to not match. So one has to be positive and one has to be negative. So if I do 1 and 18, could either one of those being negative add to -3? Definitely not. How about 9 and 2? Nope. 9 minus 2, 2 minus 9, not happening. But we could have 3 minus 6. And 3 minus 6 does equal -3. Now, in more complicated quadratics that we're factoring, there are more steps involved. But at this point, we can kind of jump to the end, which you can't do later. And this is only when a equals 1. Only a equals 1. We can go ahead and make our pair of parentheses, and we can write our two binomials, because we have a 3 and we have a -6, and all we need to do is write our x's in. So x plus 3 times x minus 6 is going to give us our solution, and I can prove that to you, because if I took x plus 3 and x minus 6 and I redistributed, I would end up with x squared minus 6x plus 3x minus 18. My middle two terms would combine, making minus 3x minus 18, which is originally what we had as our equation and what we're trying to get back to. So this right here is our solution. Factoring is a little bit easier when a equals 1. Don't tell anyone I said that. But you can skip right to this step because of the whole a equals 1 situation.